The 1968 Olympics featured two U.S. African-American athletes who strived for more than competition. As influential figures, these athletes felt an obligation to showcase issues greater than sports. The Black Power movement was a political demonstration conducted by Tommie Smith and John Carlos during the national anthem of the medal ceremony. Their peaceful protest consisted of raising their black glove in the air until the national anthem was finished. In addition, they wore human rights badges on their jackets. When receiving their medals, both men were shoeless and wore black socks to represent black poverty, while Smith wore a black scarf representing black pride. Carlos also had his tracksuit top unzipped to show solidarity to the blue-collar workers of the United States. He wore a necklace of beads as well and was quoted saying, "That was for the individuals that were lynched or killed and that no one said a prayer for, that were hung and tarred. It was for those thrown off the side of the boats in the Middle Passage." This silent protest later became front-page news around the world. Smith voiced his frustration and his pride in being a black American by saying, "If I win, I am an American, not a black American. But if I did something bad, then they would say I'm a Negro. We are black and we are proud of being black. Black America will understand what we did tonight." This quote goes to show how such a powerful message can be portrayed through soft power if it is done with dignity and pride. Socialist Harry Edwards, the founder of the Olympic Project for Human Rights, urged African American athletes to boycott the games. Ultimately, this was the fire that ignited the flame for Carlos and Smith.
I'm in trouble mid-turn, coming out of the turn, because I was in third or fourth place.
Also going well in lane 2 is Roger Bamberg with right over John Carlos. But it's Carlos coming through now.
About 80 meters, because it was just out of the turn. I made a surge. And when I made the surge, I can almost feel myself.
Tommy Smith of America, going well. Tommy Smith of America out in front of Carlos coming on the near side.
And I knew that the only way I was going to catch anybody in front of me was a burst of speed.
And Carlos and Smith, what a fight. Tommy Smith coming right through. And the Tommy Smith gets does it. Tommy Smith wins totally. What a gesture.
That smile just before crossing the tape was a smile of genuine elation that it is over. I have done what I am here to do.
The time inside 19.8. The new world record.
I had decided to have Mrs. Smith bring me gloves, but I didn't know what I was going to do with them.
When they were getting ready to go out for the awards ceremony, it was clear something was up. They had black gloves on. They had black socks.
I had a left glove. I told John, John, this is what I'm going to do. I said, "You want the left glove? You can have it."
The fellow who won the silver medal was an Australian named Peter Norman.
He said, "Mike, I believe in what you believe in, and I want to help." White boy, you're Australian. I mean, come on, go get your medal, and just this was in my mind, so I said no. And on the way out, Paul Hoffman was hanging over the banister.
And I was wearing my Olympic Project for Human Rights button. And he looked up at me and said, "Hey, mate, you got another one of those." And so here's this white Australian with two black Americans about to go out on an award ceremony, wants to wear an Olympic Project for Human Rights button, and I'm damned if I'm going to be the one that says he can't. So I said, "You going to wear it?" And he said, "Yes." And I took mine off and handed it to him.
We were really excited and thrilled and kind of not really expecting much from these guys. Maybe from Carlos, because he was the more militant, but not from Tommy. This was the sharecropper's son from Lemoore who picked cotton. This was the quiet child.
There were more than 200 of us watching the actual event. We knew something was going to happen.
The Star Spangled Banner, when they did what they did, was absolute eternity.
Their fist. None of us knew that was coming. And when it happened, it was so right.
People call it Black Power. Of course, I'm black. Of course, we represented power. But it was a cry for freedom. Here, Notice me. I'm in need. What are you in need of? Justice.
We were like in awe of it. We were silent. We just stood there. Nobody said a word through the whole national anthem. We just sat there and looked at each other and looked back at the TV and looked at each other and looked back at the TV. It was quite a moment.
I mean, you know, you're sitting there and saying that's a long time for somebody to just take out a gun and shoot them.
Protests such as this one took a lot of courage to execute, especially knowing there could have been repercussions. Although this movement was done through peaceful action, the International Olympic Committee President Avery Brundage made it out to be a domestic, political statement, unfit for an environment like that of a medal ceremony. Anticipating some kind of protest was afoot, the International Olympic Committee had set Jesse Owens, perhaps one of the greatest and most famous athletes in track history, to talk them out of it. However, Carlos's mind was made up. When he and Smith struck their pose, Carlos feared the worst. Look at the pictures, and you'll see that while Smith's arm is raised long and erect, Carlos had his slightly bent at the elbow. Carlos was quoted saying, "I want to make sure, in case someone rushed us, I could throw down a hammer punch. We had just received so many threats leading up to that point, I refused to be defenseless at the moment of truth." Brundage ordered Smith and Carlos to be suspended from the U.S. team and banned them from the Olympic Village. When the Olympic Committee refused this proposal, Brundage threatened to ban the entire U.S. track team. This threat led to Smith and Carlos being expelled from the Games. Smith went on to play in the NFL for the Cincinnati Bengals before becoming an assistant professor of physical education at Oberlin College.
After being suspended from the U.S. team and receiving death threats, neither man ever apologized for his raised fist, and for good reason. When asked why they never apologized, Smith is quoted saying, "We were just human beings who saw a need to bring attention to the inequality in our country. I don't like the idea of people looking at it as negative. There was nothing but a raised fist in the air and a bowed head acknowledging the American flag, not symbolizing a hatred for it." This quote goes to show how this protest was approached with a good heart, and the only intention was to point out an important issue in our history. More often than not, protests came with a lot of controversy, and this was a direct result of the emotion this protest brought to all Americans. Whether that emotion is felt in a positive or negative connotation, getting the people of America to feel something is a win in itself. People can say what they want about Smith and Carlos, but they were bold enough to address an issue that was being swept under the rug.
Amita.
Damn, Daniel. Damn. Damn, Daniel. Damn, Daniel. Damn, Daniel. Damn, Daniel. Damn. Back at it again with the white bands. Back at it again with the white bands. Back at it again with the white bands. Dusty man, damn. Back at it again with the white bands. Damn, Daniel. Dusty man, damn. Damn, Daniel.
Where'd you find this?